Hey, Glenn here. Are you overwhelmed by the digital marketing landscape, or maybe you're underwhelmed by your current digital marketing agency? Well, G-Commerce's well-thought-out marketing campaigns draw their strength from the synergy of multiple disciplines working in concert and guided by an overlying strategy to drive new customer acquisition at the absolute lowest cost. They pride themselves on seamless customer service that makes you feel like you're part of the team, facing challenges and celebrating successes together. Your business is unique and your marketing should be too. Contact them today for a free assessment of your digital marketing health and how they can help you improve. Visit gcommercesolutions.com to claim your assessment. But more importantly, guys, listen, this is Glenn speaking to you right from the heart. These guys helped create my NoVacancyNews.com website. It is amazing, it is awesome, and it helped transform my life. They helped kickstart my business, and they can help you too. So visit gcommercesolutions.com and claim that assessment. Hey, and tell them Glenn sent you.
Welcome to the Hotel Tech Podcast. This is the show where we tackle your most pressing issues to bring your business more wins. Keeping up with technology is challenging. Our experts are here to help you figure it all out. Here's your hosts, Glenn Hausman and Estella Hale.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hotel Tech Podcast here on the No Vacancy Network and SHR's global websites. I'm so excited to have you here today. Of course, I'm your co-host, Mr. Glenn Hausman. I don't know why I'm calling myself Mr. today. I guess I'm getting a little too full of myself here right now. I keep forgetting I'm really just a punk pretending to know what I'm doing about, but I do know someone who is absolutely incredible at what she does, and that would be Estella Hale, the Chief Evangelist over at SHR. Estella, how's it going today?
It is going great. Very excited to be doing the podcast. It is a super interesting topic and very excited about our guest.
Yeah, I'm really excited too because it's very impossible to stay away from the fact that Google is absolutely everywhere. And quite frankly, I think Google knows a heck of a lot more about me than I know about myself. and now they're getting really very big into the travel product area. So we brought Mr. Cliff Galitz aboard to talk a little bit about what Google is doing on there, and B, to make sure that people understand what they're up to so you could better maximize your opportunity through this amazing company that knows absolutely everything that I want to do when I travel. So, Cliff, where am I going on vacation next? Maybe that's where we should start.
Well, spoiler alert, I actually don't know. I have no idea where I'm going, but I'm sure,
I was wishing,
but I'm sure it's going to be amazing, and I'm sure you'll do some research on Google about it.
I absolutely. As a matter of fact, the reason why I'm joking around like that is because here in my family, we cannot choose where to go on our vacation come August, and I got to get planning on this thing there, Cliff. So I was really hoping you were just going to say anything to give me some travel inspiration today. So let's start with the first question, and then I'll pass it along to Estella after this. So tell us a little bit about what's going on with Google and the travel product area.
Sure. So Google Travel Product Area, our official mission statement is that we want to be the trusted place where travelers like you, Glenn, can go for the most useful information to make fast, effortless decisions. And really just kind of boiling that down into more normal English, we've observed that there's a lot of anxiety in the travel planning process, and it generates, a lot of pause for our users because they're spending a lot of money on what's more than likely, something that they can't really get wrong, right? It's not a television set that you can return. And so we've done research several times over the past few years with different consulting companies that really looks at the research process that people go through. And as it turns out, they go through a lot. They look at many different research sessions. They look at many different websites along the way, in many cases on different devices. Trying to plan their next trip, whether it be, this August or whether it be next August.
Right.
And so, our goal for the travel product areas is we want to help users simplify that planning process and surface the right information in the right moment for them.
Right.
And then, of course, on the other side of that, if we're doing a great job for our users, then we should be able to help hoteliers and other advertisers reach those users across the entire planning process as well and generate some great qualified leads for them.
Yeah,
And
excellent.
Cliff, I
I'm sorry,
noticed
Estella. I
also-
didn't mean to interrupt. I just
sorry.
wanted to do one quick note for folks that are listening. What Cliff is really talking about is the notion of the customer journey, something that hoteliers seem to be focused on a lot more lately, and a place where Google really has the opportunity to excel. Estella, please take it away. Sorry about that.
No. That was perfect. Thank you for reminding us of that, Glenn. What I was going to mention, Cliff, is two aspects that make Google the place to go from a traveler's perspective. Number one, because the planning process involves multiple scenarios, from activities to places to stay to how to get there, etc. But I think also some of the planning also happens during travel. Some of that, while some of the services are already being fulfilled, maybe your air travel was already fulfilled, but you're planning for activities. So really the planning process happens not just at the time of ideation, but sometimes at the time of fulfillment, and knowing what other people have done, knowing things like reviews are a very important part of that that planning, and it looks like that's something you guys are focusing on a lot as well.
Certainly. So we can talk a little bit more about it in specifics on hotels if you'd like to. Just by way of backing up again, my role in the company is I work on a business development team that supports our travel product areas specifically. And so that normally includes flight search, hotel search, some of the destination features that we have. But of course, we have a whole other ecosystem of maps, and a lot of that is very relevant for during your journey as well. For example, looking up restaurants and things to do, and whether it be tours and activities or just visiting a museum, understanding the opening hours, all that stuff. So yeah, I can talk a bit about that if you'd like.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess reviews in general, whether it be for hotels or otherwise, are a feature of our Maps platform. We're heavily invested in growing that platform and helping our users contribute their local knowledge to the map.
Right.
So beyond reviews and star ratings, users can add missing places, correct, opening hours or an address, phone number, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Cliff, that's kind of like when all of a sudden it starts asking me questions, right? He's like, do you know if this is family friendly? Do you know what the business hours here? Those kind of questions, seeking out people that have actually gone to those venues in order to provide accurate information?
Sure. So you may get proactively prompted to provide some feedback. And then we also have a large local guides program where those folks can earn points and unlock some rewards for submitting edits. And I think we're up to about 95 million local guides at this point in time.
Wow.
I'm one of them.
You are.
Well, at least when it comes to clarifying hours on sushi places. After that, I don't really participate too much, but at least I'm participating.
Well, everyone needs to know their niche,
right? Go on, Estella. Sorry.
And when it comes to hotels, Cliff, and of course our audience is hoteliers, and they're looking into seeing how they can really use the reach that Google has for guests and for them as a platform. What can they expect with this Google Travel product in this area?
So, going back to last year, we did a lot of redesigns with the hotel search experience in general. And when users are researching hotels now, they'll get a very robust list of all the options that are applicable to their search for different properties. And then once they drill down into some properties they're considering, we try to feature a lot of rich content about the hotel. All the amenities that might be available on site, photos of the property, and as well as, user reviews, like you mentioned. And so, we encourage hoteliers to encourage their guests to leave a review for the business. And then we encourage hotels to engage with users through management responses to those reviews. And then, there's a Google My Business platform that allows for editing and responding to reviews, et cetera. And some people, hoteliers and businesses, like to use that, interface we provide to them directly, and some of them use a third party to provide API level exchanges with that Google My Business platform.
Fascinating. Okay, so all of that makes complete sense to me. What about Google Marketing Live? How can users take advantage of that? And what were some of the changes that were announced a couple of months ago when you had the conference back in May?
So Google Marketing Live is a conference we do for our marketing partners. I believe it's annual, and we did announce some changes to the travel product areas this past May. So the big change in the headlines that came out of that was a new experience that unifies navigation across our different travel products. So this is actually a feature that had been available on mobile devices since, I believe, late last year. But just this quarter, that experience became available on the desktop. So beyond providing some continuity across products, like stickiness of your dates. So for example, Glenn, you're planning your upcoming vacation, and if you've been searching for flights from August 8th to 15th, then when you go to search for a hotel, we should know that you're probably going to need hotels for those same dates, right?
Agreed, yeah.
So there's some continuity that's provided across those different search features. And then there's also some great organization tools in there as well. So if you go to google.com/travel, there's a section right there, if you're signed into Google, that shows some of the components of your trip that you might have already booked, so that you can easily pick up and continue your travel planning. Perhaps after you book a flight, you go back and look for your hotels, or vice versa. And then it also has some element of search history in there as well. So if you had been looking at a few different destinations, for example, this upcoming August, those will be listed, and then you can pick up and resume some historic searches that will be shown there. So again, we're trying to make it a little bit easier for these folks that are doing their research across multiple search sessions to pick up where they left off and just be as efficient and helpful as possible.
Yeah, the unified navigation that you guys have done recently just has made it so much easier for the traveler when they're signed in. As one of the connected providers into your travel product, we're constantly giving you updated information for the hotels that are in our system. And so it is an interesting experience, both from a guest and from a provider side, to see those results appear in the new platform. So I think it's definitely something that as a user of the many Google apps, it just becomes the place to go, whether you are on your desktop or on your mobile, now that you have that same experience. Is that something that you believe, Cliff, that the adoption of this was started because it started on the mobile first, or how do you guys approach that?
So the mantra has been mobile first, not only for Google, but probably for a lot of developers out there for a couple of years now. And, we continue to see a trend towards users on mobile devices. So I think that's what led our thinking on why mobile first. And then, just the evolution to desktop is something people expect. And we do see a lot of users that will, again, because they're doing multiple search sessions and hitting multiple sites along the days or weeks of their travel planning, they're going to use their mobile device sometimes, they're going to use their desktop sometimes, maybe depending on where they're actually physically located, and maybe depending on their comfort level about completing a transaction. So we're always trying to make this experience as seamless as possible, and make sure that we're surfacing the right results no matter where they're looking at that particular point in time.
Excellent. So
and things like conserving those dates makes that cross-context possible. So I think it just creates the stickiness, even when you're sharing it with someone else, that is easier to share when you have that cross-context. So just something that it's interesting from a hotelier's perspective, and again, from the provider side, when we're giving the daily feeds of information or real-time availability, to know that that's going to be displayed across multiple contexts. But I'm sorry, Glenn, go ahead.
No, I think that was well worthy to sit back and hear you say, because I had nothing that good to say. So, Cliff, all around, kind of summing this up together, how would you recommend that hoteliers leverage your products and services in the travel arena in the most efficient way possible?
First, I would play a small guitar solo.
Yeah,
or whatever that noise was.
That was my phone ringing, and it was a guitar solo. But thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, no problem. So I would encourage a couple different things. One, I would encourage any hotelier to look into Google My Business and understand how they can manage some of the content about their business on Google My Business. So whether that means uploading some photos or responding to guest reviews, I think that's a great idea. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, I think they should do some research into our Hotel Ads product, which enables hoteliers and other partners to, try to get some traffic from Google for those users that are deep down in the funnel and have already researched some hotels and are ready to make a booking. And they might want to book directly with the hotel. And we have some options for hoteliers, whether it be SHR or other partners, to onboard their live prices and availability and get some leads from Google for those users that are ready to make a booking with that property.
Excellent. So, Estella, do you have anything else that you wanted to add?
Just Cliff, if that is what you would recommend, if that's the best way for hotels to get started. So just kind of like, okay, if you have not started, what is the best way for you to get started? Ooh. And if you have at least a listing, what are the opportunities that you would tell hotels this is a great way to engage?
Right. So if you're already participating in hotel ads, for example,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I would look at some of the research that's available in there to you. There's missed opportunity reports, et cetera, just to understand perhaps where users are finding the property and where you may not have an ad surfacing. Just to see, what are the opportunities that you're missing out on. We offer a lot of intelligence in the Hotel Ads Center that enables you to do that. So that would be one thing I would consider. And the second thing I would consider is we have a lot of automation available within the Hotel Ads Center now, so that hotels don't need to be actively managing bids, but they can insert some business objective targets in there and let some of our automation take over and post some ads for them. So that might be another thing where if the hotel thinks it might be too complicated for them to participate in hotel ads, probably not. They could look at some of the automation we offer.
Wow, that's great. And the automation is really a very helpful thing for folks that are worried about that time crunch. I mean, there's so much, so many things that we need to worry about in the hotel operating on a day-to-day basis. It's nice to know that you're helping to automate and make these things happen for folks behind the scenes with them not having to worry too much. So, Cliff, any final thoughts from you today?
No, I thank you both for having me on the program today, and I appreciate it. And again, I would encourage anyone out there that's looking to plan a trip, go to google.com/travel. And I would encourage any hoteliers who might be listening to go ahead and check out Google My Business and the different features that are available there, and also check out our Hotel Ad Center.
All right, beautiful. Estella, any final thoughts on you about Google?
Yeah, just to remind the hoteliers to go and experience this as a traveler yourself. Go as that traveler, as that guest that comes to visit you. And then go and look at those opportunities that Cliff spoke of. Look at your business objectives. Look, if you are appearing listed, what opportunities you might have, and just get started.
Right, absolutely. You make a whole lot of sense there, Estella. And as Google continues to become a more essential part of your marketing strategy for hotels, I'm glad that we had this chance to talk to Cliff today so you could learn all about it. I want to thank everyone for listening today. And remember, you can find this show recording and all past shows on SHR's website, which is, of course, shr.global, and on the No Vacancy networks, either at novacancynews.com or, of course, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and everywhere else you can find podcasts, or simply text the word hotel to 66866. That's the word hotel to 66866, and you'll get signed up for our weekly newsletter with all of the tech shows and all of the other shows here on the No Vacancy Network. So for Cliff, Estella, and myself, I want to thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time on the Hotel Tech Podcast.